Hello everyone, welcome to MAT 1033 online for the spring 2020 semester. This video is going to walk you through the introduction of the course, basically what was covered at orientation last night. It'll show you how to access Canvas, navigate Canvas, find all the materials that you need, and also walk you through how to register for the MyMathLab software that will let you do the homework and watch the videos and get the textbook. So let's get started. If you have the Canvas app on your phone, that's great. I usually just go through Canvas because I have many courses that I have to use, so I just go on my laptop, I go through Canvas, and our course will look like this. If you see this little megaphone here, that means I've made a new announcement. And that new announcement could be anything from, I gave you an extra day to do the homework, or a reminder about the midterm date, things like that. So if there's a little blue megaphone here with like some lines coming out of it, that means there's a new announcement. Check that out. Okay, so if I click on the course, the first thing that you'll see at the very top of the homepage for the course is the syllabus. And I'd like to walk through the syllabus, not in full detail, but just to give you the gist of the important stuff. And when you click on the syllabus, this will always be here throughout the entire course. You'll see some important things at the top: my name, where my office is. I am on the Bradenton campus. My office phone number, my official email. But a better way to email me might just be to go through the inbox, click on the inbox, and click on the course and hit email my instructor. But if you want to do an official email, please use your student email when you email my SCF email. If you don't use a student email, then I probably just will not respond to you because I'm not sure if that's you or not. But if it's your student email, then I know it's you and I can officially respond. My office hours are there. These are my office hours on campus where I am guaranteed to be in my office and completely available to you students. You can just pop in during any of those times. If there's a better time that works for you, say like Friday at 1:30, maybe you get off work at 1, and at 1:30 you want to stop in, ask a question before the weekend because the midterm's coming up the next week. Just email me and say, hey, will you still be there at 1:30 on Friday? I'll most likely, 99% of the time I'll say, yeah, absolutely, I'll still be here. Just come on in. Course description. So this is a college elective credit, but it is not a Gordon Rule math credit. Meaning, this course is sort of in a weird spot in the middle. It's not a developmental course that doesn't give you college credit, but it's also not a full college level mathematics course. So this course is going to be the prerequisite for college algebra, elementary statistics, topics in math, or liberal arts math. And of course, the prereq is you've either passed 0028 or 0057, or you just got placed into this course. By probably like SAT scores or something like that. The textbook you do not have to buy, but you do need to purchase the MyMathLab software, and this thing that I've highlighted in yellow, that is the course code that you will need. So again, this will always be here on the syllabus, but if you want to jot that down somewhere on the side, you're only going to need it once just to get registered for the course, and then once you've put that code in, you're in the course for the next 16 weeks. Please do have some sort of calculator. I don't mind if you have like a TI-83 or TI-84. That might be a bit overkill, but if you're going to be taking statistics or college algebra, you're going to want that nice graphing calculator anyway. But as far as a calculator, as long as it does the basic functions, plus, minus, divide, multiply, you should be good. Hopefully maybe it has like a square root button on there somewhere. But do please get a calculator. Try not to use your phone as a calculator because, during the test you can't do that. So try to get a calculator. It could be a cheap one, just something that you're comfortable with that you can bring to the exams. Additional materials, the Academic Resource Center on all the campuses that we have, they have the textbook available. They also have student solutions manuals. They also have free tutoring. I just want to kind of emphasize that, you guys should really be taking advantage of that free tutoring in our academic resource centers. The tutors are very excellent, very helpful. They have extended hours. They even have hours on Sunday. So please take advantage of that. If you just go to the SCF website and pop that open real quick, you can see under Student Services, Academic Resource Center. Here's the link for their homepage. And we've got them on all the campuses. And, if you click on, say I click on Bradenton, You can start looking at their hours Monday through Thursday, 8:30 to 7 p.m. Right, so they got some late hours. They are closed Saturday, but then Sunday 1 to 9. So man, if you can get there on a Sunday and get some extra help before the midterm or before the final exam, like I said, it's free tutoring. It's a great way to study for the course. I'm going to leave that open just in case. Exams. So this is a really, really important section right here where it talks about the exams. Yes, this is an online course, but there are 2 times where you do have to be physically somewhere to take the exams. One is the midterm exam. It's Tuesday, February 25th from 4 to 5. The other one is the final exam. It's Tuesday, April 21st from 4 to 6. By registering for this course and staying enrolled in this course, you are agreeing to take those tests on those days. If you can't make that time, that's okay. You can schedule to take it at a different time in the testing center. For example, say Tuesdays, I always work from 3 to 9 p.m. or something like that. Like I know I have those hours and I'm stuck to those hours. I'll never be able to make this time on that Tuesday because I always work Tuesdays 3 to 9. Well, then I can register for the testing center and I can take it earlier in the day. I can take it at 11 a.m. and just get it out of the way. But that's on you. You know what your schedule is outside of work. So this is a commitment you're making. You're making the commitment to take this midterm and this final exam on these days. Please don't email me and say, well, I work on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. Can I take it Friday? No, that's too late. You're agreeing to this day. So make sure you're comfortable with that. Hopefully it's not a big issue, but there's always 1 or 2 students that come to me, the day before the midterm and say, oh, I can't take the midterm for the next 4 days. And I say, oh, well, then you get a 0. There's no makeup exams. You can see it right here in bold. Make sure you're coming to me before the fact and letting me know what the issue is. We can work around it. If you wait till the day of the midterm or the day after the midterm, it's too late. I've already given the midterm and I've already graded it. So again, very important. Those 2 exams are very important. They're a big chunk of your grade, and you have to take them both. As far as the grading goes, well, maybe before I break it down, again, highlighted in yellow because it's very important, you have to get a 60% or higher on the final exam in order to get a passing grade. Again, there's always that one student who, they look at their final grade in Canvas and it says they have a 72%. But they got a 50 on the final, and 50% is not going to cut it because you need 60% or higher. Yes, Canvas makes it look as though you have a passing grade, but I cannot give you this passing grade because you did not meet this criteria. So keep that in mind. The midterm, I hate to say it, but yeah, you can do very poorly on the midterm and still pull through with a passing grade as long as you pass the final. So the midterm is, it's a halfway checkpoint. It's just kind of, here's your grade for the halfway through the course. This is about where you're at. And that lets you know, okay, do I need to put in a lot more effort to pick this up? Or am I doing did I do okay on the midterm? Am I doing the right amount of studying? So that's what the midterm exam is. Yes, it's for a grade and it does count, but it's a really good evaluation point as far as, am I on track or am I behind and I really need to pick it up if I hope to pass? So here's the breakdown. I like to do it by points, but I also put percents in there in case that's a little easier. There's a midterm study guide that you will turn in before the midterm or during the day of the midterm, and that's worth 50 points, and I grade that based on effort. So as long as you're doing the whole thing, you're getting all the points. And then you'll take the midterm exam, that's 200 points. And then it just happens again, but it happens with the final exam. There's a final exam study guide, turn that in the day of the final for 50 points. The final exam itself is 200 points. And then this is the bulk of the grade, 300 points. This is all the work you'll be doing online in the My Math Lab. Now they call it My Lab and Mastering. So when you're working online and watching the videos and doing the homework, that's where the bulk of the points are. And this should be a really good grade because the way I have the homework set up is even if you miss an assignment, you can go back and still work on it, as long as you want. But after the due date, there's just a 25% late penalty. But you can still get a decent grade as long as you're not doing all the assignments late. Also, all the homeworks have an unlimited number of attempts, so you have an infinite number of chances to get it right. You can just keep redoing the same problem over and over and over again. If you get it wrong 99 times, the 100th time you get it right, you get full points, right? So make sure you keep that in mind. Don't just leave it wrong and move forward. Here's the policy about the late work. Like I said, the math lab assignments are going to have weekly due dates. Some people think, oh, this is an online course, so I work at my own pace. I'll take 3 weeks off and then I'll catch up in week 4. That's not how this online course works. Never has been, never will be. This is just like a regular course that you meet on campus face-to-face. There are weekly assignments. There is stuff that you're responsible for as the days go by. So keep that in mind. I keep all the assignments due on a weekly basis. They are due every Tuesday at midnight. You'll see that when I get into my math lab. And that's just how I like to do it because, maybe you work all week, so you save the homework for the weekends. Okay, fine, that's on you. You're allowed to do that. But I can't let you go 2 or 3 weeks without doing any assignments. That's just not how the course progresses. Attendance, obviously you don't have to really care about because this is the video that'll cover the orientation that was on campus. And of course I'm not taking attendance because you guys are at home doing your homework. No show, don't worry about. Electronics policy, the only thing I have to say is it's on you to have a really good internet connection. Please do not call me and say, oh, my internet went down for 2 days. Can you extend my homework? That's your responsibility. Go to Starbucks, go to the library, find some internet, get your homework done. Saying you don't have internet connection is it's not an excuse. It's something you need for the next 16 weeks. Misconduct, again, you're not really here, so I don't see any issues happening. Technical support, this would be a nice number to reference. If you are having trouble with the my math lab software, there's only so much I can do on my end. If it's like a technical issue, then you might have to contact them. They also have like a student support web page that you can go to and submit a help request. But this number, if you call it, you will eventually get in touch with a human being, and that human being can help you rather than just dealing with a robot. Recording devices, obviously, again, there's no real class, so there's nothing to record. Email, just please communicate through either Canvas, which is probably the easiest way, which I think the bulk of students usually just use Canvas, or use your official student email. Please do not email me from a Hotmail or Gmail account because I don't know that that's you, and legally I cannot respond to it. So please use your official student email. If you need help figuring out what your official student email is, you can just call Student Services, and they'll send you over to someone in IT that can look up your information for you, or talk to an advisor. Usually your student email, they give it to you on the day of your first day, your orientation or whatever. But Canvas is probably better. I will probably make an announcement about the withdrawal deadline. That is the last day to withdraw from the course and get a W, which will not affect your GPA. I will let you know when that date gets closer. If you feel like you're struggling and maybe you took the online course and you realized 4 weeks in you go, man, an online course really isn't for me. I don't think I'm going to do so well. You want to withdraw before that date. And I believe it's in the end of March, but I will get the exact date and make an announcement before that happens. That withdrawal deadline prevents you from hurting your GPA, essentially. If you stay after that withdrawal date, then I have to give you a grade, and it might be a bad grade that could hurt your GPA. So I will let you know when that gets close. Statement of plagiarism. This one's kind of funny because you're online. Usually plagiarism in the math world is just referenced as cheating. And that's essentially what cheating is. It's plagiarism. You're taking someone else's work, claiming it as your own, and then writing it down on your paper. Whether that other person you cheated off of knows or doesn't know, that is plagiarism. You're stealing someone else's ideas and using them. So don't do it. For us, it's just a midterm and a final, and I'm going to be watching you guys. Or if you're not on campus with me taking the midterm or the final during those times, if you take it in a testing center, obviously the testing center has cameras. You really can't you can't cheat the camera. It sees all. So I don't think we're going to have an issue with this. I think more so when it comes to cheating as far as online, the only thing I can think of is paying someone else to do your homework for you. Or hey, your brother, the engineer, knows math, and you're just going to say, hey, can you, I'll buy you a pizza if you do my section 2.3 homework for me because it's due tonight. it's going to look like you got a really good homework grade, but then when you come take the midterm, you're not going to know how to take the midterm because you didn't do it. So that's the only thing I can think of where cheating would be an issue. The DRC is great if you feel like you need any testing accommodations. Just go email them or call them. They're really good about setting you up with extra time for testing or a quiet room, private room for testing. If you feel like you need any accommodations, please talk to them. They're very helpful. Non-discrimination, religious holidays, since we're not really on campus, we're going to be communicating just through email. I don't think there'll really be an issue here at all. If you ever feel like there is an issue, please contact me. I'll, do whatever it takes to correct it. If the midterm or the final exam happens to fall on like a religious holiday, please let me know in advance. That way we can work around it. If you do ever have any issues, the department chair is Kim Gieslin on the Bradenton campus. This will link you right to her email. She's the department chair on the Bradenton campus. She can work through anything I can't work through, for sure. This is probably the most important page. It's the last page on the syllabus. And this is the page that basically breaks down our weekly pace. So you'll see for week 1, we've got sections 2.3 to 2.6. These will be due the following Tuesday, the 14th at midnight. So this week is what you should be working on all throughout this first week. And over the weekend, I like to give you guys the weekend to get caught up in everything. And then even in another extra day, Monday or Tuesday, in case you still have questions after the weekend, I can pop in and answer them. But the main thing is make sure you're doing them by Tuesday at midnight so you don't get that late penalty. You can still work on these. You can work on these sections. You can work on section 2.3 in week 6 if you want to. Maybe you missed a question, you want to go back and do it. You'll just get like a late penalty. They'll always be open, but there is a due date as far as getting the full points. Over here on the side, I've got these notes. These notes basically tell you, hey, this week there's a little bit extra that you have to do. This tells you what you have to do throughout the week as far as assignments in the My Math Lab. But this says, hey, this is really something extra outside of My Math Lab that you should also do. So if you're watching this or you came to orientation, then obviously the first one's done. You do want to complete the syllabus quiz on Canvas. I'll get to that in just a second. And then you also want to purchase and register for the My Math Lab software. The My Math Lab software is the software that lets you get in and do all these sections and do your studying, watch the videos, do the homework, prepare yourself for the exams. And then down here you'll see before spring break we're going to have a midterm exam. Again, this midterm exam is not online. You have to come in and take it, or at least register in a testing center and tell me which testing center to send the exam to. But you'll see that I broke it down on week 7. There really there's not a whole extra set of assignments to do. It's just reviewing for the midterm. So I wanted to give you guys a week to kind of go back through and restudy everything, collect your thoughts, collect your ideas, get those concepts solidified. And then I gave you a midterm exam study guide that you have to do that week. And it's pretty hefty. It's about 70 questions. The midterm exam itself is only about 20 questions. So the midterm is only going to be an hour. But the study guide, I wanted to give you guys a lot of practice as far as the problems go. And the study guides due the 25th, the same day as the midterm exam. So again, on the notes on the side, this tells you what you should be doing outside of My Math Lab. And of course the exam is outside of My Math Lab. And then of course, even though you're an online student, you still get the break. You still get spring break off, so that's a nice week off for you. And then after spring break, don't forget to come back and start doing your homework. Yes, it has happened. I have had students that take the midterm exam, take spring break, and then just never come back. They think they finished the course for some reason. Make sure you come back and finish the rest. And then the same thing happens for the final exam. I give you a week to do the final exam review, complete that study guide, and it's due the same day as the final exam. Again, you're either going to take the final exam here on campus from 4 to 6, or you're going to register in a testing center and take it there. And then this tells you when the final grades are due on May 1st. So that is the pace of the course. That is all the nitty-gritty, all the details. If you please read through the syllabus and take the syllabus quiz. And if you have any questions, let me know. So speaking of the syllabus quiz is right here. When you click on the syllabus quiz, you can see it's 3 questions It's not for a grade. It just confirms to me that you read the syllabus and that you agree to take the midterm and the final exam. The questions on the syllabus quiz are simple questions. When is the midterm exam? When is the final exam? Those are the type of questions that you'll see on the syllabus quiz. So please take that. You also see my spring schedule here. I just put this here as a visual aid, so you can see when my office hours are. They're in gray. I'm teaching a lot of courses, so they're a little bit all over the place. And you can see here's our online section for 1033 from 4 to 6. I have it blocked off only because the final exam is actually 2 hours, 4 to 6. So my weekly schedule looks something like this. Again, Fridays are great if you have any questions. Friday's a great day to pop in if you're close to campus. Orientation, this is where you'll see this video. I haven't made it yet, obviously, but this is where you'll see this video pop up, and it'll probably say, watch this first. But this is the testing information. So there are 2 exams, a midterm exam and a final exam. The midterm and the final both need to be taken either on campus with me during the times on your schedule, or they need to be taken in the testing center, either on the Bradenton campus, Lakewood Ranch campus, Venice campus, or another campus. Typically a good rule of thumb is, say maybe you're out of state. Go find a local college or university. They should surely have a testing center that will accommodate you. You may have to pay a fee if it's not an SCF testing center, if you don't come to an SCF campus and take it, because if you're not that college's student, they might charge you a small fee. Just keep that in mind. Good rule of thumb is libraries and online things, like there's an online website, I think it's called ProctorU, that turns your webcam on and watches you. Those are not allowed. Absolutely not allowed. You can't go to a library and take an exam because they're not going to watch you like a hawk. A testing center will watch you take the test. So this just kind of breaks down some of this stuff. Read through this. It basically tells you how to make a testing appointment, and there's the link for the testing center. So if you click on this link, it'll take you right to our SCF testing center. Let's say maybe you're closer to the Venice campus. You'd rather take the test on the Venice campus. You can schedule an appointment with Venice. If you're closer to Bradenton, click on Bradenton. And the way it looks is just for the midterm, it's 1 hour. For the final, it's 2 hours. So you can just say, hey, look, I'm an SCF student. I want to make up an exam as an SCF student. I want to do it. It's a midterm. It's 1 hour. Choose the date. Hopefully you remember when the date is. It was Tuesday, February 25th. All right, so don't click on, I'm going to take it on Friday the 28th, because I'm going to email you back and say, no, you're not. I did not approve that. So it's better to, if you know you're going to need to take it in the testing center, register now. Register early before slots fill up, because now the world is your oyster, right? You can pick any time you want. But the closer it gets to that date, some of these dates will be blocked out because other students have already registered to take their other tests that time. And the testing center accommodates the entire campus: English, speech class, chemistry, physics, biology, every math class we offer. So there's a lot of students that need to take tests, so these slots will fill up pretty quickly. But like I said, I'll take it at 11:10 a.m. that day, because I know I have to work later. So then I can register, and you just fill out all your information and everything. The only thing that you need to get to me is there's a test referral form, and I've also put that. I'm just going to close that because this will just give you a confirmation when you're done. But the test referral form I've put on Canvas, so you can access it, or you can get it on the testing center's website. All you need to do is fill out the very top portion. Put your name. You don't even really need to put my name or anything. But just put your name, and I need the date and the time and which campus you're taking it on. That way I know where to send the test. So you have to get this to me. 9 times out of 10, I always ask for it at least 3 days in advance. But they ask for 5 days in advance. So if you email me the morning of the midterm and say, hey, I'm taking it over here, I might not get that email, right? Because I have class all day. So make sure you give yourself a good buffer. Especially if you're not taking it in an SCF testing center. If you are taking it at a different campus, say you're closer to, say like a USF in Tampa, and you want to use their testing center, I do need 5 business days notice, because I have to contact them, and that means you have to give me their contact information, After I contact them, we have to make arrangements. I have to say, is it okay if they have 1 hour, they use this calculator, they're allowed scratch paper. Like, I have to go through all those things with them, and then they have to respond back and say, yes, this is fine, we can accommodate the student, but the student must make an appointment, and then you have to make an appointment, and then after the appointment, you have to contact me and tell me you made the appointment, and then I have to contact them and say, okay, here's the exam, and here's their time, so it's a whole process. So you have to allow time for that process. Otherwise, I will just say, no, come to campus and take it, or that's it. It's too late. So make sure you give yourself plenty of time there. And then at the very bottom of the page, you'll see the study guides. So there's the midterm study guide and the final exam study guide. These count for a grade. So make sure you're turning these in, especially if you're taking the exam in say like a testing center. Get this to me somehow. Put it in my mailbox. Scan it and email it to me. I recommend PDF because I can open a PDF file guaranteed. Don't just take a picture of it with your phone and send me a bunch of pictures, especially if it's an iPhone and the file has some weird extension. I can't open it. There's no guarantee I can open it. If I can't open it, I can't grade it. So a PDF works great. There's a really nice app called the Cam Scanner app. Real quick, just so you know what I'm talking about. This thing. If you go on the App Store and download this Cam Scanner app, it's great. It's free. You can pay for it to remove the little ads at the bottom, but download it. It's free. I've used it tons of times. It's great. You just take your phone and you just take a picture of all the pieces of paper, and then there's a button that says Generate PDF, and it literally crops everything, squares it all up, and makes it a nice PDF file, and then sends me to PDF. Guaranteed I can open that. Guaranteed I can grade that for you. So that's a really nice tool. But you'll see one thing I want to say about the study guides is, they're pretty lengthy, but that's because we do cover a lot of material and there's not a lot of tests. Typically in this course there's 5 exams and then a 6th final exam. We only have 2 exams, so we cover a lot all at once. But I gave you the answers, so you have the answers there for you. So again, I'm not grading this based on getting the right answer. I'm grading this based on, do I see the work? Do I see the effort? Have you put the work in? So I gave you the answers because I want you to make sure you know that you're doing it right. One of the great ways to use this midterm study guide is to take it to the Academic Resource Center. Go to the Resource Center and sit down, and if you need help, get a tutor. The tutor can help you, or if you know someone else that's in a 1033 class at the same time, or maybe they took it last semester, you can work with them. That's fine. Again, I grade this based on effort, so I want to see the effort. And that pretty much sums up Canvas. Most of the time, you'll be just going to Canvas to, print out the study guides. I'm also okay if you don't want to print out the study guide. If you just want to do it in notebook paper and then turn in the notebook paper, that's fine as well, as long as I see all the problems and it's, fairly neat and organized and I can find all the problems. That's fine too. So you don't have to print the study guide to turn it in. You can turn it in on your own paper. But that's really what you'll do. You'll come to Canvas and you'll say, ooh, I need a test referral form. And, oh, let me print that study guide. The majority of the work that you'll be doing will be on the MyMathLab website. So let's get to that next. And one of the best ways to get to MyMathLab is just to, go to Google and type in MyMathLab, and it shows up every time. Again, they changed the name a little bit. Now it's MyLab Math. So if you've used the software before, then you have an account and you can just sign in. And there's a forgot username or password if it's been a while. But you can just sign into the account. And then once you signed in, at the very top of the screen, you'll see a button that says Enroll in Course. When you enroll in that course, that's where you're going to need this course ID number. I'll pull it back up real quick. The Schaller 32144. So that's the course ID number that you're going to need in order to get enrolled in this section and start doing this section's homework. So make sure you've got that number just kind of on the side. If not, the syllabus is always there to reference. If you've never used MyMathLab before, then you're going to have to make an account. So you're going to have to register as a student. If that is the case, click on Register Now as a student. These are the things you'll need. Please use your official SCF email because there are some nice features to this software. One of the nice features is there's a button you can click on that says Email My Instructor. If you click that button and email me, I won't respond to it if it's not an official SCF student email. So if you use your Gmail account here and then click that button to email me through MyMathLab, you're not getting a response. I cannot respond to emails unless they're student emails. Instructor's course ID, that's the thing I just said, Schaller32144. We'll plug that in, and that'll get us in the right course. And then you're going to need to actually pay for it. There's a couple ways you can do it. The access code is something you can buy in the bookstore on campus. If you'd like to use your financial aid, use your financial aid. But it's basically just a piece of cardboard with a little tear off. And when you tear it off, it's got a little number underneath, like a 20-digit code under it. And you plug that into the software online to prove that you already purchased it in the bookstore. Or you can buy it right here on the website using a credit card or debit card or PayPal or whatever. So those are the ways that you can purchase the software. There are a couple different softwares or a couple different versions of the software. There's like a 4-month version that's a little cheaper. There's like a 2-year version that's a little more expensive. If you know you are guaranteed you are going to pass this course in 1 semester, yes, you can buy the cheaper one, and it'll only allow you access, till like the end of May or whatever. But if you're done with the course, you've saved yourself some money. However, if you buy that 1 semester version, I think it's like $84 or $85. If you buy that 1 semester version and do not pass the course, then you will have to buy this software again because you only bought access for 4 months. Versus if you buy the 2-year software, yeah, it's more expensive. Maybe it's like $130. But, gosh forbid you don't pass the course and need to retake it in the summer or the fall even. You still have access. You've got 2 years of access. So that's kind of up to you. I can't force you to buy, a certain one. That's kind of just a game you have to play. Okay, so when you click on register now, here is where you'll type in, it's just my last name, Schaller, and then 32144. Right, no spaces, no uppercase, no periods, nothing, just my name and then 32144. And there it is. It says, okay, you want this course. You want the MAT 1033 online for spring, taught by me. I just put the end date at May 31st. I know that's way later than we actually end. We end in the first week of May, actually the last week of April. But I just kind of gave it enough of a buffer there. And then you'll create your Pearson account. When you create your account, this is where you have to plug in all your information and then click on all the boxes that say you agree. When you create the account, the very next page is where you pay for it. And that's where you put that, access code in. If you bought it in the bookstore, you just type that code in and it says, oh, yes, you did pay for it. There you go. You're in the course. Or you put in your credit card information and it says, okay, thank you very much. Charge accepted. There's the course. If you go on that page, if you scroll down, it's a little small, but there's a little link that says, I would like to try a 2-week free trial. So if you're waiting on a paycheck or you're waiting for financial aid to come through, you can click on that, I would like to try a 2-week free trial. And then at least that gets you started. And then in a week and a half, it'll remind you and say, hey, you haven't paid for this, you're going to lose access. But at least the 2-week free trial will get you in and get you started. So let me back out of here. And just so this video doesn't get too long, last thing I want to do is just show you the homework. If you've used this before, then you're good. You know exactly what you're doing. If you use the MyMathLab software, then this is something you've already seen. But if you've never used the MyMathLab software, let me make sure I put the right password in. If you've never used the MyMathLab software, then stick around because now you want to see, okay, how do I actually do the homework? So this is our online course. You'll probably only see that, or if you had this before, you'll see an older version of the course. When you click on the home screen, it kind of tells you, well, mine will be different. So it's showing me like the average. So some students have already started working, which is great. The main thing on the left here, this is how you kind of scroll through all the different options that you have. One of the nice things over here is the multimedia library or the chapter contents. The chapter contents will actually take you to the textbook. Probably not a lot of people go straight to the textbook at first. But if you want to browse through the textbook, the software has given you access to the entire textbook in an electronic format. But probably what might be more useful is the multimedia library holds all the videos. And the ones that you're going to look for are the section video lectures. When you click on the section Video Lectures, well, this will pull up everything because I didn't put anything specific in, but if I want to specifically go to our first section 2.3, Chapter 2, Section 3, I would just want the video lectures. There's a whole bunch of other stuff that you can click on, but browse through it at your leisure. But this is the one that you really need. Click on that. It'll bring up, here you go, 2.3, Solving Linear Equations. It's a 23-minute video. And the ones underneath are just the same video but broken up into 4 chunks. So it's not like there's 5 different videos to watch. This one main video up top encompasses all 4 of these little subsections. So if I click on the video, this is the author, Elaine Martin Gay. She actually walks through as if, just like she's your teacher standing in front of a whiteboard. She'll walk through and she'll guide you through all the different sections and work out examples with you and explain things. And you see these little pop-ups that, give you different strategies. So watch these videos. And then when you're done watching these videos, you can always go back and reference them, and you can pause them, rewind them. You say, oh no, I got this concept. Where's the other concept I was looking for? Oh, look at that little marker there. That's where the next concept starts, Objective 3. This is what I was having trouble with. Decimals. Okay. So, you can see you can jump around quite a bit. You can't do that in a classroom. You can't fast forward me while I'm talking, but you can do that online, which is great. Once you've got the video done, then you're going to go to the assignments. And you can see the assignments all have the due dates lined up. So this is week 1's assignments. If you look on the syllabus, these 4 sections were due in week 1. They're actually due Tuesday the following week. So I give you some time to finish them over the weekend and a little bit over the following week. And then these are the week 2 assignments here. You can see they're due on the 21st. Week 3 assignments due on the 28th, etc., etc., etc. So you can see all the due dates are lined up. So if you're working on these assignments after, say, for example, if you work on this after January 14th, then that's when you're going to get that 25% late penalty. So let's click on homework 2.3. You can see I already clicked on one random question here when we were doing the orientation. Make sure your pop-up blockers are turned off, because pop-up blockers love to prevent this screen from opening. The new homework, when you click on the homework question, it always opens in a new screen, and sometimes it just doesn't open up. That means your pop-up blocker is doing something funny. You may have to actually physically go into your settings and turn off the pop-up blocker. It'll probably be under options somewhere. And it depends on the browser. I've had success with Chrome, and I've had success with Firefox. Safari seems to be a little finicky, but just try a different browser if you can't figure out how to get that pop-up blocker turned off. Sometimes just a different browser makes a world of difference. So I'm in the homework. The nice thing about the homework is this is what you paid for. These are, this is the bulk of the money that you spent. There's tons of stuff like Help Me Solve This. We'll work you through this one's got 6 parts. It'll work you through step by step, and it'll ask you questions along the way. But it really breaks down the concept into small, digestible chunks, and it's actually doing your homework problem for you. Now, the problem with that is, as you work through it and it solves your problem for you, it's not going to give you credit. When you close this window, it's going to change the numbers. You see the numbers just changed. So it gives me a different problem that I then have to do. So that Help Me Solve This, it works you through this question, but then it changes the question and still makes you do it. So it's not like a freebie. The other way to do it is View an Example. If I click on View an Example, let's say maybe I've started working my question and I'm halfway through it and I don't want to lose it, then I can do View an Example, and it gives me something different. And it will work me through in different parts. Hey, this is how you should work a problem like this. Then after you're done working through that, and sometimes it just, explains things. You hit continue, right? And it walks you through in like a guided tour of how to solve this question. When you're done with what you need, you go, oh, that's what I was missing. I forgot to divide. Let me go do that and finish my problem. Close this. It's not going to change your problem. These are the same numbers. This is the same problem. So it just kind of depends, where you're at and which method you prefer. There's also a link that takes you right to the video. Say, hey, what is this concept? I don't know what this concept is. Well, here you go. There's the video that explains it for you. So that's really nice. The textbook link is there. It takes you straight to the electronic version of the textbook. Read the textbook. There's lots of great examples in the textbook. And there's also extra questions for help in the textbook if you want some extra practice. Here's the link to email me. If you hit Ask My Instructor, it'll send me an email, and it tells me exactly which question and which section you're working on. And the nice thing about this MyMathLab, the way it's set up, the 2.3.53, that means it's coming from Chapter 2, Section 3, and this question looks just like question 53 in the textbook. So you know exactly where you're at all times. When you do send me an email, just explain a little bit. Don't just say, like, I'm stuck. Okay, where? Tell me where you're stuck. Say, you know, I've worked through everything. Say, like, you know, I have the LCD. What do I do next? Right? What's next? At least I know you got an LCD, right? At least I know that much. I say, oh, okay, they know what a least common denominator is. Now I can get them through the next speed bump. So if you do something like that, that's fine. It tells me where you're at. One thing you shouldn't do is LOL can't solve, because I don't know what that means, right? I have no idea why you can't solve it, or if you've even attempted. I don't even know if you've tried to do anything. So at least tell me something when you send me an email. But yeah, other than that, you'll see some of them are multiple choice. Some of them will have you fill in a box, and there's a little key down here. If you need a square root, you can click on a square root. If you need a fraction or a mixed number, you can click on that. But there's also keyboard shortcuts. You know, I'll let you kind of play with those and figure them out. Like if I want to do an exponent, there's a shortcut on the keyboard to do it. But I'm just going to click on a random one here. Same thing I did in the orientation. Click on it and hit check answer. You can see that the software gives you feedback. It doesn't just blatantly tell you you're wrong. You know, it starts mentioning things like, hey, what's the LCD of 2 and 5? You know, it starts giving you some good feedback, and then you say, oh, okay, maybe it's this one. Right? And you keep guessing and guessing and guessing. Some of these are multiple choice. You can guess enough times to get them right, but that's not helping you. Final check. Oh, wrong. It was 10. Don't hit next question. I mean, you can, but if you do that, it's going to leave this question incorrect. Just hit similar question. Right? It may change the numbers a little bit, but now you're still working on the same question, but you can keep working it until you get it right. You have an infinite number of attempts to get it right. So, you know, I don't care that you're getting it right on the first time, the third time, or the 10th time. I care that you're getting it right. I want you to get it right, you know, no matter how long it takes. I would say, you know, try each question about, you know, 3 or 4, I don't know, maybe 5 times. But if you do the same question 5 times and you get it wrong 5 times in a row, it's frustrating, and I know it's frustrating. That means you need to really start using these, you know, bells and whistles. You need to start using these tools that are at your disposal. And, you know, worst case scenario, you do it 5 times and you're still not getting it after you watch the videos twice, you did the view an example, you did the help me solve this, you're working on the question a 6th time and you still don't know what you're doing. Just email me and say, look, Mr. Scholars, there's a different way you can explain this because it's just not clicking. You know, don't ever be afraid to email me either here or through Canvas or, you know, my SCF email. You know, mostly when you watch the videos, the author is going to be like your official teacher teaching you the math. But I'm always here. I am the teacher of the course. My job is more so just to set everything up and give you all the tools. And then whenever you have questions, I answer those questions. But I've gotten great feedback about the videos, so I think you'll be okay with the videos. And these tools are very helpful. Lots of students love using these. Great feedback on those. But with that said, just make sure you're doing the homeworks on time. Make sure you're emailing me if you have any questions. Make sure you're watching the videos before you do the homework. That's a lot easier than attempting the homework, getting stuck, and then working backwards. And if there's anything you need as far as you know, materials or big thing's going to be testing. A lot of you will just contact me for the testing. Hey, I need to take the midterm here. Hey, I need to take the midterm there. But other than that, you know, looking forward to a good semester. I wish you the best of luck this semester. If you need anything, please contact me and let me know. Thank you very much. Have a great one.